What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Zoe here if you're new, and today I'm back with another video. And today is going to be kind of, I don't really know. Today's video I'm basically doing a chit chat get ready with me, and I'm just going to show you guys my everyday makeup routine. But what I'm going to be chatting about is my struggles with depression and seasonal depression. That is something I've been struggling with for a couple years now, and it has been apparent in my life the past couple weeks, and I just wanted to, I vowed to myself that I would come on here and record a video regardless of what it is. So regardless of how I feel about it, I'm going to post it. And I really just wanted to come on here and be very transparent with you guys about like my personal struggles with depression and what that looks like for me. So yeah, I don't want to make this intro super duper long. I do want to preface this with saying that I am not doing this to look for attention. I feel like there are going to be trolls coming to say, oh my god, she just wants views, blah blah. Like, I promise you that's not what I want right now. That's not like the goal of this video. I hope that at least me being transparent about this can potentially help somebody else who is struggling with depression right now, or struggling with trying to get out of, you know, not their best version of themselves. So I'm just gonna kind of leave it at that, and I'm gonna let, you know, the rest of the video kind of speak for itself and what I'm gonna talk about. Let's just get into it. Hey, you guys. Why am I forgetting how to do an intro? I don't understand. Okay. I don't think I've posted on my channel in about like 3 weeks, I believe. Yeah, like 3 weeks. And the reason being is I was depressed. I am obviously here looking a little crusty, okay? Like, okay, so my hair is straight. We're back in action. Now we can talk. If you've been on my channel for a long time, like if you've been subscribed to me for a long time, you know that I sometimes have periods where I kind of go ghost, or I don't post anything, and all of that. And I feel really bad whenever I end up doing that, and that kind of plays into part of my depression, which I'll get into later on in the conversation. But this has been, I guess, something I've struggled with for a while. It's very frustrating to me personally, just off the strength that like it comes in waves. Like, it's not necessarily consistent all of the time. Like, and I'm not saying, and I don't know how to word it. I really don't know how to word what I'm trying to say right now. And this is like the frustrating part. This is the frustrating part, because I will, you know, be in a point in my, you know, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I had to give myself a little pep talk to come back on here, okay? So, yeah, as I was saying, it comes in waves. Usually, I can always expect it to come in the winter months. That's like always a thing for me. It's like not a surprise when it happens, I'll say that. And depression for everybody is different. I want to emphasize that. Some people's depression is very severe, where they can't get out of bed, they can't do anything. Some people's is a little lighter, where they can do stuff, but like they're still super, you know, unmotivated in their head, whatever the case may be. I can't speak on, you know, depression and anxiety and all of that for every single person, because it's never going to be. Like, that's not how mental health and things like that work. What it kind of looks like for me, and what this kind of like happens for me, is I get very unmotivated and self-critical, and it's to the point where it's like very, I want to say the word I want to say is self-sabotaging, which isn't the word I'm trying to say. It's about self-sabotaging in the sense that like it literally will prevent me from doing everything. And like, honestly, I'm probably going to keep the clip that I just had to kind of like do in the video to kind of show y'all like what it's like for me, where my self-criticism is so bad. And I feel like that's like one of my main downfalls with, you know, me and my work and everything. Is it's not even necessarily a creative block, because it's like I know what content I want to produce and I know what I want to do, but the way, like, I just can't do it. Like, I want to do this. I know I want to do this. This is what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. And I physically won't be able to do it. I won't be able to get out of bed. I won't feel motivated to get up and start my day. I won't want to do anything besides kind of, and it's just like, and it's kind of like a strong feeling of just kind of being like sad and isolated, and like I don't want to interact with people. I don't want to go hang out with people. I don't want to work on things that I like doing. You know what I mean? Like, what, that's one of my main, I guess, triggers of like when I know like I'm starting to get back into a depressed state is when I get to the point where I don't want to do things I normally want to do. I don't want, like, doing YouTube makes me happy. Like, making videos and like being confident and editing my videos and all of that, that makes me happy. I love doing that. But when I start getting to a phase where I don't want to do that, that's when I know like something's up. You know what I mean? And it'll get to the point where I will get in front of a camera, I will record a whole video, and like literally midway through I'm like, this is ass. I don't like it. I hate it. I hate how I look. I hate how I'm talking. I hate how this video is coming out. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't feel confident. I don't feel motivated. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything. And like there had been times even in the past where like I would work like a regular job, like H&M, Ulta, whatever, like a retail job. And like these feelings that I will feel will literally make me not even want to go to work. I would call out of work just to not do anything, off the strength that I just did not have it in me that day to do that. But it would be detrimental. When people say like you're your own worst critic, like for me, that's exactly what it is. But like sometimes like times 10. And it's like it's something that I can't help all the time. And it's like I try to change it. I try to change my thinking and give myself pep talks and blah, 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 which is like, it works sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it truly just does not. And I never really am super self-critical about like, you know, I guess like my appearance and stuff. Like I feel like that's a level of confidence that I was able to, you know, build like over time. But like I get super self-critical about like my abilities, like my ability to produce content, my ability to work, my work ethic, my ideas, all of that. And I just can never seem to feel like I'm good enough. And it's like, and that's just on a regular day-to-day basis. But like when I get in these like depressed states, it's like amplified times 10, where it's like literally anything I try to do, I just think I can't. It's like I can't is like my number one statement in my life. And it's super just, it's not a good thing to have because it definitely limits me a lot. And I've watched it limit me a lot. I be feeling bad because it's like I know that my subscribers and the people who support me and like want to watch me produce content are expecting things from me, and then it's just like I'm not able to provide that right now. And then it makes it even worse. Like it's like I feel so bad at the fact that I can't provide the content that, you know, people kind of are expecting out of me. And granted, I shouldn't feel like that because nobody should feel, you know, I'm the only person really entitled to my time. And it's like if I need a break, I need a break, and that's what it is. And like I can understand that and I can respect that for myself. But it just kind of low-key, it does make it a little bit worse because it's just like, damn, I can't even do this for people who are supporting me, and I have people who support me and I can't do that, and then it just makes me feel worse, and then I'm even more hard on myself, and then it's like a whole little cycle. I kind of block my blessings, especially when I get depressed. And it's like depression is also different for everybody and people cope with it differently. And I've even realized as of recently, my coping mechanisms for me being in this state are super trash. And I mean, I'm going to tell on myself because it's like I would rather me be 100% transparent and honest with my experience than to sit here and cap and act like I'm not doing that. And granted, like, I can do it because I'm of age, I'm 21, whatever the case may be. But one of my downfalls whenever I get into these depressed states is I party a lot. And I won't necessarily realize I'm doing it because, again, like, depression isn't always just a constant state of being upset in your bed. You know what I mean? Like, again, it's different for every single person. People can be wholeheartedly depressed and go out to the club every night and act like they're, you know, okay. And then when they get home at night, they're not okay. And that's a coping mechanism. And that is one that I have realized that I utilize a lot. I am 100% not telling anybody to use this as a coping mechanism. I'm just explaining that it has been a inappropriate coping mechanism for me. It's so easy for that to be, you know, a coping mechanism is getting lit and all of that. Like, that's an easy task. Like, it's like you don't have to think much, you don't have to do much. You are just going, you're kind of getting like an out-of-body experience. You're not feeling as down and out and upset as you were before, because you are now, you know, replacing it with a substance. And that is low-key how addiction starts, like, for a lot of people. Granted, I am not saying that I am addicted to alcohol or weed or smoking or anything like that. Like, I am not saying that at all. And I can acknowledge when I am abusing those. Because it's okay. If you smoke, if you drink, if you do whatever, that's fine, sis. Go ahead and do that. That is A-okay. It is A-okay to let loose sometimes. It is okay to get lit sometimes. I'm not saying that if you smoke or drink that you are a terrible person. Because trust me, on a regular, even when I'm not depressed, sometimes I like to smoke and drink with my friends. Like, that's fine. Like, that's okay. You know what I mean? But it's like when you are beginning to use smoking and drinking inappropriately, when you're doing it back to back to back, when you're not, you know, having any positive substance to your life, you can tell when you are, you know, doing a little too much with it. I can tell, and I can also tell when my friends are doing that too. You know what I mean? Like, when it's just like, when you're doing it in excess to make yourself feel better from a situation, you're abusing it. And I definitely use that as a coping mechanism, and it never really made me feel better. I want to emphasize that. When you smoke and when you drink, it's fun, you know? And I'm not gonna say, okay, I don't want to send out the wrong message, because I feel like somebody might be in my comments like, oh my god, you're influencing children to do bad things. Like, no, I'm not saying that. If you are of age and you want to, you know, have a little fun, go crazy, have a little fun, be safe. But like, what my main point is that like, it never really made me feel better. Like, when I'm in these states, it's like, the goal should be to try to make yourself get out of that state, you know, try to make yourself feel better, whatever the case may be. Smoking and drinking and stuff, yeah, in the moment I might feel good. In the moment I'm feeling woohoo, party, I'm with my friends, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm lit, like, I don't gotta worry about nothing, I'm feeling good, blah 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 blah. But it's like, there has been nights or like wherever where I come home in the morning or I come home at night and I go take a shower or I lay down or whatever the case may be, and I'm right back at square one. Like, nothing changes. It's like, yeah, it was cute in that little moment, but like, it was a moment, and you can't keep doing and like putting toxins in your body and stuff like that be doing anything for you. You know what I mean? And I realized that, and I'm actually taking a break or like a detox kind of on drinking. Like, I'm not drinking at all right now, off the strength that I noticed when I was drinking and I was coming home and not feeling good about myself. Like, I literally had, and I'm gonna be super transparent with y'all, and I'm really like, and I was scared to make this video or to talk about this just because it's like, I didn't want it to seem like I was out here wilding, but it's like, I feel like it needs to be said, and I feel like I've, you know, kept that mentality on my channel before, where it's like, regardless of what it is, if something needs to be said or if I feel like people need to hear it or I want to share my experience, I'm going to do that, and I'm not going to do that and be scared to do it. So I'm going to be honest with y'all. There was a time as of recently where I went out and I got drunk, and I made some decisions that I wish I hadn't made, and I came home and I looked in the mirror. I was sitting there and I was just like, this isn't you, Zoe. Like, this, what you're doing, how often you're doing it is not you. It's not you. And I literally got in the shower and I sat on the shower and I cried. And 2019, and this year specifically, has been an extremely emotionally exhausting year for me on multiple aspects, whether it was school, whether it was relationships, whether it was just me being depressed, whatever it is. It was a very, very emotionally exhausting time period of my life. And I've cried a lot, especially recently. And I've kind of realized, like, you know, how sensitive I am and all of that. And it's not something I necessarily like, because I don't like being sensitive. I don't like being vulnerable, but it's not something I'm really a fan of. But I've realized, one, it's okay to cry. It's okay to be sensitive. It's okay to feel emotions. Like, that's life. We wouldn't have emotions if we weren't meant to feel them, okay? So that's one. Two, that day in specific for me, when I came home and I like cried in my shower, I feel like that was kind of like a, I'm not gonna say rock bottom, but like, damn near. It was kind of just like it was a wake-up call. I'll say that. It was a wake-up call for me to really realize, like, hey, Zoe, you're not taking care of yourself. You are not eating enough. And that's another thing that I've realized when I get upset or when I get depressed or sad or whatever, I don't eat. And I'm one of those people where it's like when I'm sad, some people sad eat. I don't eat when I'm sad. And that has been a thing for me recently where I would just be eating one meal a day. I lost a lot of weight. That's another thing. I am not gonna normally say what my weight is, but I've lost 7 pounds. And if you guys see me, can't really afford to lose 7 pounds, okay? Like, I'm already really, really small. I'm already underweight. So me losing 7 pounds is kind of like, sis, what you got going on? Like, and I feel like that day kind of just like, it really just kind of like put things in perspective to me. It really kind of, I just had like a mini wake-up call where it's like, all right, this is not, what I'm doing is not beneficial to help me get out of this place. I know I'm in this place and I'm not doing anything to try to get out of it. And it's hard. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's easy to get out of depression. Like, you can't just say, oh, I'm happy. Like, that's not how it works. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just do that. But what you can do is try to, you know, take small steps in making sure that you are, you know, trying to get back on the right track. And for me, I've been trying to take my small steps. I've been trying to, you know, get back on track because I haven't been for a very long period of time. The things that I feel like is slightly one of my downfall when it comes to things like this is I am not the most expressive or vocal with my emotions unless they're with myself, if that makes sense. So like I said before, I don't like being vulnerable. I don't like crying. I don't like being super sensitive. I don't like, you know, all of that stuff. And granted, it's okay to be all of that stuff, and I know that, but it's like one of my issues is that like I don't like burdening other people with my issues or with my problems. And even when it comes to money, like if I'm broke, I will do everything in my power besides ask somebody for help. You know what I mean? Or like when I am feeling upset, I will act like I'm not, because I don't want to burden anybody else with my issues. I don't want to, you know, get on people's nerves. I don't want to throw my issues on them because like I just don't want to burden them. And it's not necessarily a pride thing. It's more just like, or it's more or less just like, I feel like I'm a very empathetic person, so I know what it feels like to feel other people's, you know, issues and burdens. So it's like I don't ever really want to do that to other people, so I avoid doing it at all costs. And I've also realized like that's a very unhealthy, another unhealthy coping mechanism is not talking about my feelings, not expressing them. And one of the things that has helped me with that recently is journaling. I bought a notebook. Where is it? I bought this notebook right here. I have been using it to write down my feelings, all of that. I am actually kind of diving a little bit more into like my spiritual journey. So I've been doing tarot card readings in there. I've been talking about crystals in there, all of that, which I eventually plan to bring to my channel if you guys are interested, and helping me a lot. So that's actually one of like my new ways of helping me kind of get out of my depression, has been to write down what I'm feeling whenever I'm feeling it. And sometimes I can't even put what I'm feeling into words, but like even just starting writing a few sentences down about just what I'm feeling, just to like put it somewhere and not just keep it in my mind. And then like, no, like add positivity in your life, meditate, stretch, do something to like start your day off in a positive way, doing things that make you happy, not necessarily with like featuring alcohol and weed and drugs and all of that, but like just doing shit that makes you happy is very important. So if you like painting, go paint. If you like playing sports or working out, go work out. If you like whatever you like doing, kind of force yourself to do it, because eventually you might be reminded of the happiness that it gave you, and to keep kind of doing it. And hence why I am planning on doing Vlogmas, but not really. Like, I'm not gonna do Vlogmas every single day because I literally know myself and that's just not possible for me right now. Like, I literally, you gotta be honest with yourself too. Sometimes you can't, don't overpower yourself with things that you want to do or that you feel like you have to do in order to get out of these states. I know right now, me doing Vlogmas is literally impossible. I can't do that. I'm sorry. Like, I still have to take care of myself. I still have to get out of this. I am planning on doing 12 days of Vlogmas. So I'm gonna try to upload 3 to 4 videos in a week. Wish me luck, because I don't know if I can do that. Hopefully I can. Okay, well, I'm done my makeups. So I don't want to make this video too long. But if you guys want like an in-depth description of like how to kind of get out of a depressive state or how to kind of get back on your feet after you've been kind of in the slums and whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments. I actually might do that as part of my 12 days of Vlogmas. This video was kind of all over the place. I don't really know how I feel about it, but I am vowing to myself that regardless of how I feel about it while I'm editing it, I'm going to post it anyways. So if I don't like it, then whatever. I just want to end the video off saying I love you guys, and I hope you guys subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys on the rest of Vlogmas.